On April 14, 1865, a quiet Washington, D.C. theater was shaken by a single gunshot, marking the tragic end of a nation's leader. President Abraham Lincoln's life was abruptly halted amidst a conflict. A cruel destiny awaited Lincoln. Join us as we into the assassination's chilling exploring motives, a manhunt and a legacy that still resonates. This is a story of national grief, a cunning plot, and lasting impact. Welcome, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. On a fine evening, President Abraham Lincoln, seeking some leisure, decided to attend the play, Our American Cousin, at Ford's Theater. His companion for that evening was his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln. Upon their arrival, the play was paused, and the entire theater erupted into applause. The president, basking in the adoration of the audience, settled into his seat. As the play resumed, the mood was electric, the audience completely engrossed in the story. Amidst this excitement, an unseen danger was lurking, unbeknownst to Lincoln. Little did they know, going to be a night to remember for all the wrong reasons. John Wilkes Booth, a known Confederate sympathizer, had planned something sinister. An actor by profession, Booth was a man of charm and charisma. Yet beneath that facade lay a heart filled with resentment and a burning desire for retribution. His plan was not one born out of a moment's decision. It was a calculated plot, meticulously crafted over time, driven by his strong Southern sympathies and his belief that he could change the course of the Civil War. Booth's initial plan was not aimed at murder, but rather at kidnapping President Lincoln. He sought to use the president as a bargaining chip to force the Union into negotiations for the South's independence. However, as the Confederates' hope for victory dwindled, Booth's plan took a darker turn. His aim shifted from capture to assassination. His connections in the theater world provided him with the perfect opportunity. Ford's Theater, where Lincoln was to watch the play Our American Cousin, was a place Booth knew well. He was a regular performer there, familiar with its layout and staff. This familiarity would allow him to infiltrate the theater without arousing suspicion. Booth's plan was simple. He would gain access to the president's box under the guise of delivering a message. The box was secluded, located at a vantage point that would allow him a clear shot at the president. His acting skills would serve him well, helping him blend into the crowd, and his knowledge of the play would allow him to time the shot to coincide with a moment of laughter, masking the sound of the gunshot. He'd made arrangements for a swift getaway, a horse ready and waiting in the alley behind the theater. Every detail was taken care of, every possible obstacle considered and planned for. Booth's plan was in motion. The stage was set for a tragic act. His actions would go on to leave an indelible mark on American history, a chilling reminder of the lengths one man would go to for a cause he believed in. The play was in full swing, the audience was engrossed, and Booth saw his chance. The atmosphere in Ford's Theater that night was electric. The crowd, completely absorbed in the drama, was oblivious to the impending tragedy. John Wilkes Booth, a renowned actor himself, knew how to exploit this distraction. He carefully navigated the labyrinth of the theater, his heart pounding in sync with the rhythm of the play. In a private box above the stage, President Abraham Lincoln and his party were also engrossed in the performance. The laughter and applause from the audience masked Booth's stealthy approach. He slipped into the presidential box, a small Derringer pistol hidden in his pocket. The moment was ripe for the heinous act he had been plotting. With a swift and determined motion, Booth pulled out his weapon and took aim. The deafening roar of the pistol echoed through the theater, cutting through the laughter and applause like a knife. Lincoln slumped forward, a bullet lodged in his skull. The joyous atmosphere instantly transformed into one of horror and disbelief. Booth, meanwhile, made a hasty retreat. He leapt onto the stage, breaking his leg in the process, but driven by adrenaline, he managed to escape the theater. He had executed his plan with chilling precision, leaving behind a scene of chaos and grief. Outside, the streets of Washington, D.C. were eerily quiet, oblivious to the earth-shattering event that had just transpired. The news of the president's assassination would soon ripple through the city, the country, and the world, marking a dark chapter in American history. The assassination of President Lincoln was not just a murder. It was an act that shook the very foundation of a nation struggling to heal from the wounds of civil war. It was a blow to the hopes and dreams of a people yearning for peace and unity. Booth had accomplished what he set out to do, leaving the nation in a state of shock. The nation woke up to the shocking news of their leader's untimely demise. As the sun rose on that fateful day, a pall of despair hung over the nation. The heartbeat of freedom, President Abraham Lincoln, had been silenced forever. The immediate aftermath was a whirlwind of chaos and confusion. A nationwide manhunt for John Wilkes Booth, the notorious assassin, was launched. It was a relentless pursuit that gripped the nation, ending only 12 days later when Booth was found and killed. But the death of Lincoln was more than a personal tragedy. It was a national calamity. His vision of a united nation, healed from the scars of the Civil War, felt more distant than ever. The dreams of millions who had seen in Lincoln a beacon of hope seemed to have been cruelly extinguished. Yet, in the midst of this national trauma, Lincoln's legacy began to take root. His commitment to liberty and equality, his unwavering belief in the American spirit, these values lived on, echoing in the hearts and minds of the American people. His words, his deeds, his very life became a testament to the ideals he held dear. Over time, Lincoln's death came to symbolize the ultimate sacrifice for the cause of freedom. His life and leadership have been immortalized in monuments, books, and films, serving as a constant reminder of the price of liberty. His vision of a united, equal nation continues to guide America's journey towards a more perfect union. In many ways, Lincoln's assassination marked the end of an era, but it was also the birth of a legend of a leader who dared to dream, who dared to fight, and who dared to believe in the promise of America. The tragic end of Abraham Lincoln, a leader who believed in a nation of the people, by the people, for the people, left a wound on the American heart, but his legacy continues to inspire us even today.